smells like
Hello, 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 and welcome to I Don't Want to Be a Piece of Shit. I'm your host, Carter Doherty, and welcome to the podcast. I'm looking at myself from very far away. I'm not sure if you can even see me right now. But you know what? We're gonna podcast. This is I don't have a producer. I don't really care enough. I just want to do this. I don't know if I'm trying to make this a cinematic thing, because I actually had a whole idea of doing this podcast episode when I was driving through the mountains of Utah to just put up the camera and record it. But I was like, you know what? I don't feel like doing that. And you know what this podcast is? Whatever I feel like doing. So sorry that there's no mountains behind me right now, but instead you get my good friend Spencer DeMolke. It's his backyard. It's his family's house, and I'm staying here in Phoenix right now. So I'm sorry that you can probably barely see me in the camera. The light's coming in from behind me, and I went to school for camera shit. I know what's up. But instead, I was just like, if you can see me, good. If you can't, too bad. No, I want this podcast to be good so bad. But you know what? It is going good. I'm happy with the last episode was good. I talked a lot about the rejection that I have faced in recent times. And it's funny. I feel like life is just a lot of... I think I talked about this a lot, where you have expectations of, like, I'm gonna fucking be famous. Every hot chick is gonna be into me. Life is gonna go according to plan, just like the movies. But you really gotta learn to just accept what you're handed and try to turn it into what you want. But you should be happy with the effort that you put in to make what you want, not the end result. You're welcome, guys, for that insight. But I was feeling a little bit of rejection with comedy, with a lady, and then that night, I guess I'll go from where I recorded the last episode and up to now. So after last episode, I was moping around about rejection, and then afterwards, literally right after I recorded, I go outside. I'm smoking a joint, and I'm not wearing a shirt on. Sorry for the visual details, getting everybody horny that's listening. But I wasn't wearing a shirt. I was just smoking a joint. And I'm staying at my friend's Airbnb in Austin. And it's like kind of, it's being managed. It's like a guest house in the backyard. And so the people that live up front are these interesting characters. They're both, one of them is a man that wears very short jean shorts with the pockets that come out. And he had a wig on that was a neon pink wig. And he introduced himself as Dan. Nice guy, Dan. A couple of scabs on his face. Both these guys were rail thin. I think that they were drug addicts, but apparently they were the managers of this lady that owns all the Airbnbs. But while I was smoking a joint in the back, one of the men comes up to me and goes, "We've been noticing you without the shirt on. We just wanted to let you know we're a gay couple." But if you wanted to join, we love to play with other people. And I hit them with the no, I'm fine, because they were both disgusting, which I shouldn't call a human disgusting, but more that the actions that they do and the toll that it's taken on their face and bodies, that's what's disgusting. I bet they got good souls underneath there, and they seemed like nice people. And actually, they were polite, but you don't ask the tenant. You don't put them in a situation like that, because then it that's just life rules that I understand. You don't, if you are renting to somebody, you don't go, "What, you want to fuck?" Because then that causes a whole thing, a whole can of worms. But he did approach me, and I went, no, I'm fine. And then he goes, "Well, if we're right up front, if you ever just change your mind and you want to knock, well, we're always available. But I do just want to let you know beforehand, we are both HIV positive." So that was immediately after I recorded the last episode. So maybe the kid's not getting rejected all the time. Maybe everybody wants a little peace, huh? Maybe Dan and Kelly from Austin wanted to have a HIV/AIDS threesome with me and do drugs, and that would have been maybe I would have felt validated about myself. I don't know. But then it was my last day in Austin. The most disgusting part about all of that is that afterwards I'm just sitting in the bed and I'm like, could jack off right now? Or I could go knock and get some head from Dan. That'd be sick. And didn't do that. I withheld. But that's what I'm most disgusted about is that myself. I was just like, well, I mean, like, you could just close your eyes and go like this and get head and nut. And then guess what? You came. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that make your day better because you feel like you haven't had the validation that you've needed, so you think you're gonna go get sucked off by some guy in a pink wig that's disgusting and has AIDS? Would that make you feel better, Carter? And I didn't do that. But I'm like, there's a little bit of self-hatred in the fact that I kind of contemplated it for a second. And it was my last day in Austin. I texted some friends earlier in the day saying, hey, my last day here, if anybody wants to do anything. And I didn't get any responses. So I was already like, God, I'm trying to deal with rejection. But it's a bummer when you text friends to hang out and nobody even just hits you back. It makes you... I don't know. I don't even really understand what the feeling is. I think I need to be more content with being by myself, which is very funny to say with the past couple days that I've had, which I'll get to in a second in the podcast. But I think I struggle to be alone. Like when I am alone, I'm really addicted to my phone and just trying to keep some sort of stimulation happening. But I'm getting better at it. I've meditated the past 3 days. I'm trying to just be content with my brain being still. I don't need to always be getting high. I don't need to always be calling a friend. I can just sit there and I don't even need to be thinking about anything. I can sit and not have thoughts. That's okay. You could just exist. That's a possibility. But I was struggling my last day in Austin, just like cooped up in the house, just going, why doesn't anybody want to hang out with me? It's my last day, don't they know? But then eventually, the kid got a text going, hey, we're going to the strip club again, 11 p.m., meet up with us there. And last time I had gone, I had such a great time, and I was like, well, let's run it back. Let's do another time. I meet my friends there, and it's already like a great time. The ladies are coming out, and it's so funny to enjoy the strip club. All my the friends that I went with don't drink, or they do drink, but they really don't. None of them get drunk. And then like one of my buddies doesn't drink either. So it's very funny to go into a strip club with that kind of energy. But I don't mind it at all. I felt pretty comfortable. But yeah, we're enjoying the strip club, and one of my friends, he's very confident, like just in general in life, where he can kind of do bits with strangers, be like he's like an old soul in terms of how he interacts with people. He seems like a guy, I don't know, he's comfortable like an old man, yet he's my age. He doesn't have that like Gen Z autistic-y thing, and I'm watching him just be comfortable in his skin, and I'm jealous of it. I really want to have that comfort at all times. Like usually when you look over at me, I'm like bouncing my knee, kind of like playing with my hair, looking at something. I want to just be able to be still and just be okay. Everything's slow and calm. But I'm watching my friend. He's comfortable. He's doing bits. He's whenever a stripper's on, he's doing this thing where he casts his reel out, and then he brings the stripper over, and then they bounce their ass in his face, and he throws $5 on him. And and the ladies are like having fun with him because he's like, he'll look over and be like, now put that right here, and they'll go, oh my God, and then they'll walk, and it's fun. he's being a good guy, like never crossing any lines. He's just and having fun and being cool with himself. Whereas like in my head, I'm like, they don't want me to do that. If I did anything beyond just sit here and being a little soldier, then they'll hate me. And it's like I have this like I don't know. I think a lot of things that I think are funny, like a lot of quips that I want to say. But if I'm not in a comfortable situation, a lot of times I'll just hold it in, which is really frustrating as somebody who wants to be a stand-up comedian. And by the way, I can be pretty freaking funny when I'm on a roll, but it's I don't know. Sometimes I lock up, while other times I'm free flowing. I wanna be able to pull up that gauge whenever I can. But I don't know. I like seeing my buddy be comfortable, and I felt inspired. But yeah, the strip club was cool, and then while I'm sitting there, one of the strippers keeps coming up to me, asking me if I want to dance. She asked twice. I went, I don't have any money, which is so funny. Like I know that's like a faux pas in a strip club, I guess, or I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't pretend that you have money to them, but it's like I'm being very forward in the fact that hey, I have $30 that I'm gonna give out in ones slowly over this night. I can't afford a dance. And then she hits me with it's just 20 if you want to do it over Venmo. And I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm in. And we go back for the dance, and I'm enjoying myself. She's very attractive, and I like what she's doing. She's putting her body on my body, and that's making my body shoot dopamine into my brain and blood into my penis. And I liked it. And then she goes, God, you're really cute. $80, we could go to the VIP room. Which, like, obviously that's stripper talk to get you. Like, she's like, $80 to go to the VIP room. I don't know what would go on back there, but don't have $80 to spend. Literally would put myself into debt giving her $80. And then I'm like, I really don't have 80. I'm so sorry. And then she goes, it's fine. I don't normally do this, but you're just so cute. And then grabs my face and just makes out with me. Which, like, in my head, I'm like, oh, this is another thing to try to get me to spend the 80 to go to the VIP room. And I was like, oh my God. And then then the songs keep going, and she keeps dancing, and I go, and I had this happen at a strip club before when I went, like, way back in the day with my ex, where songs kept playing and we didn't realize the dance was done. And then by the end she was like, all right, it's like 150, and we're like, whoa, yeah, huh? Why didn't you stop after a song and say that it was going to cost more? But that's what happened. And so I thought that's what was happening this time. And I go, hey, songs are continuing to play. I don't have like any more money for dances. You're really, really cool. And then she goes, oh no, I like you. This is we're just hanging out. And I was like, what? Strippers don't do this. And then after a little bit, she's like, I'm gonna go outside and smoke a cigarette. Do you want to hang out with me? And then we go outside, and she starts asking questions about me. I ask questions about her. That's how conversations work. We get to know each other, get information, pass it back and forth, grow closer by sharing information. And I'm telling her about how I'm traveling all the time, and I'm about to go through a few-day hiking trip that I set out for. And she was like, oh, my God, I did that exact hiking trip. I have all these spots that I want to show or give you. Here, give me your number. And she's like, here, let me put my number in your phone. Takes my phone, puts her number in, calls herself, and then she's like, okay, I'm going to send you all the spots that I have. And then that was it. We walk out back into the room. I look over at the stage, and all my friends have left their seats, and I'm like, oh shoot. And I'm like, all right, bye. It was so nice to meet you. She was like, you too. And then she grabs my face and she starts making out with me, just like one of those like quick. And I was like, what? And then she just grabs my dick and goes, all right, I'll see you soon. And I walk away and I'm like, whoa, that's cool. That's the validation I was looking for. That's the feeling that I have been craving so hard, is somebody just wanting me. And never, ever did I think I was getting that little feeling at a strip club. And guess what? Been talking to that lady, and she's very, very nice. She's a very good conversation, and she gave me a lot of good hiking spots, and I hiked them. Ah, man. So we've been texting. God, I'm gonna take a second. I gotta piss because I've just been chugging coffee like a bitch. So be right back in 3 seconds. All right, and we're back. I was looking in the mirror. I wasn't aware of what my hair situation was. I woke up in a bed over there and then just set everything up and came over here. TBH, this isn't the what's it called? The mop I wanted on, but it's what exists. And I tried to like put water in it to make it go flat, and it's staying up in the air. So this is what we're gonna deal with until I shower after I work out after this. Where was I at? Oh, ending the strip club saga. No, I already ended it. We left. And, I got to brag to all my buddies. They were like, what happened? Oh, because they were out of their chairs, but they were waiting by the door, literally waiting for me to come back from getting a dance. They're like, you were back there for like an hour. And I was like, yep, the kid's got fucking a little bit of charm. What can I say? Everybody wants a little piece. Everybody wants a little something to Carter D. And they were also they all saw her make out with me and was like, what the fuck? Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Next morning, wake up, pack my shit up, and I head to Oklahoma. I hosted a weekend in Tulsa, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday was in OKC. God, comedy is an interesting thing where I love it so much. It's my purpose that I've decided. It's the thing that I like really work on improving is my set, the material that I'm doing. Like that's my main focus in life. And it's funny that it brings me so much joy. Yet now it is kind of like it. I don't make much, but it is a job. And I don't know how to really put it into perspective, but like I was just hosting at a club for a comic that I really, really like. But he doesn't. His crowd isn't probably tailored to what I would want to be doing. And then also I'm MC. Like I'm the first guy that goes up. I'm the fresh face in Oklahoma. There's a lot of material that I normally would do that I can't do in this situation because they're not gonna like it. They literally don't want to hear me talk about some of this stuff. And it's interesting that it really changes. Like I can do a lot of these bits from the set that I'm working on currently. I'm working on a big chunk about being bisexual right now, and I'm trying to grow it as much as I can. And it's the material that I'm excited to do because I'm currently working on it and like editing and working on lines. But I couldn't do any of that shit hosting, so it was kind of like it. I don't know. It's frustrating, even though I'm doing the thing that I love. I was just like, I want to work on the things that I want to work on. I don't want to have to go do these old jokes about how my dad drinks and drives. Like it's all just stuff that like I'm like this isn't who I am or what I want to be doing, but it's what I got to do to get this job done right now. But you know what? I still did have a lot of fun on stage. I don't know why I like going with that mindset. This was probably one of the best hosting weekends I've had in a while where it felt like it was dragging. I get a lot of host weekends where it's like people that I'm working with a headliner that probably like a lot of times when I get booked, I just feel like it's somebody that I've never heard of or find that funny. This past weekend he was a comic that I love a lot. Actually, I really respect his stand up and I think he's hilarious. So I was excited for that. But a lot of times it's not that case, and I almost get like upset that I have to go do comedy when it's just like. This is my dream. This is what I love doing. But regardless, I was having good sets too. I was actually doing a good job at comedy, not doing exactly the stuff. It's like if you're a hardcore guitarist, like metal player, and then they ask you, can you do just some singer songwriter stuff while we're chilling? It's just like that's what it's like doing, but it's like also I am putting in for these MC gigs, so I don't even understand why I'm complaining about it. But it should, I guess, I'm complaining about it because I wish the opportunities that I had were to be playing hardcore guitar all the time instead of having to play singer songwriter shit. If that makes sense. I feel like I'm being restrained. I just want to be able to say slurs on stage. Is that okay? Can I say slurs in the host set? Is that all right? But and then it was a true road weekend though, where I got to. It was just decent hangs, decent comedy. And I got to see a new place. That was cool. And I guess to continue the validation saga of Carter Doherty always needing some sort of external validation, is I was trolling the apps while in Tulsa. I was swiping heavy on Tinder. I got a match, and after the Friday shows, I was like texting her. It's like 1 a.m. and she's like, "Actually, I'm about to get off a shift," and I was like, "Oh, sweet." So we FaceTimed for a second to make sure I wasn't a serial killer and to make sure she wasn't a catfish. And then she was like, "Okay, well, as soon as I finish showering, I'll head over." And I was like, "Bet." Kid's gonna have a lady just come over to where he's staying at in Tulsa and hook up on a Friday. Easy work. And then I like text, "Oh, just let me know your ETA or whatever." And a few hours go by, or like an hour goes by, and I'm like, "Hey, you still coming by chance?" No response to that one. I'm like, "God damn it. What?" The other thing that's really frustrating is like we FaceTimed and like we're flirty over the FaceTime, and it seemed like, oh, this will be a cool, fun hang. She seems comfortable, and I'm doing my best to seem that. And so I guess and for her to just not show up, I get it. Like I've done that to multiple Tinder matches, just ghost them. So I decided after that the next morning. Also, like I got no sleep because I was waiting on her to come over, and then like being like, well, maybe she will still come, and so I got like just a few hours, probably like 3 or 4 hours of sleep. The whole next day was shitty, and I was feeling bad about myself, and I'm like, why do you keep putting yourself in situations where somebody else's validation of you is what makes you feel good or bad? And this wasn't even a rejection. I don't even know what this doesn't even matter. But I was like, why is your brain so focused on that? How about we just cut, like, don't make that a stressor in your life. You don't need that. So I deleted all the apps. I deleted Tinder. I deleted Grindr. I removed my damn Sniffies account. I'm doing everything. I'm trying to desexualize, and not even just desexualize, just thirst my brain. I'd be thirsty, I think. But I was happy with deleting it, and I haven't. Oh yeah, I decided on that Friday. I was like, no more jacking off until I was like, until you're in Portland. So I was like, give yourself a week, no jacking off. No more apps. And oh yeah, if you're gonna get laid, it's got to be meeting them and talking to them and getting to that point. Like you got to do it. You got to do it with your charisma, with just talking and meeting people instead of like sitting on your phone with a screen in your face, just like thinking. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's wiring my brain right to go off of Tinder. I have no genuine interest in a lot of these ladies. It's just full on just I would have sex with her if I didn't have to put any effort in is essentially what I do every time I look at a picture of a lady. I'm like swipe, and then like a lot of times I won't even really pursue the matches too heavy. I'll just be like I'll wait for them to message me, type of stuff. Like I just really, I don't know. It's not. I think it's morphing my brain to be getting rewarded off of things that it shouldn't be getting rewarded off of. Like I think about it, like when you jack off, your brain fully thinks that you are having sex. Like at least that's what you're simulating. So when you jack off, it's like your brain just thinks that you did kind of the point of life to repopulate. So I'm thinking jerking off all the time can't be good for you because you're literally telling your brain that you have completed the task that you were set out for. And it's like, can I really be completing the task that I was set out for 4 or 5 times a day? That means I'm getting a lot of shit done, huh? So I think I want to train the brain to be getting that feeling from actually accomplishing the tasks that I need to be getting done in life. So, I've been good with that. Tulsa was good. The shows were fine. I emceed for regular people. I just talked about having a family. No too big of sex bits. OKC was cool. After OKC, I drove to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Saw the city a little bit. Went for a hike. Slept in the back of my car. I got this cool mattress set up. And my whole life is in my SUV right now. I'm traveling across the country. I drove from OKC to Albuquerque. I did the day there. I worked out and cooked out on my little stove that I got, and then I drove the next day to the Grand Canyon in the morning, and I hiked to the Grand Canyon, and then that was sick as hell. I drove up to Zion National Park, and I hiked the most beautiful hike in the damn land, Angel's Landing. So scary. Oh my God. That was crazy. It's insane to me that like a lot of shit, like I feel like the government really puts a lot of safety precautions. Like if there's a government building and there's a ledge, there's like, it's always overboard with how much like rebar, and you're almost caged in because they're like, you can't fall off this government building. I don't know. I just feel like government is always like overboard with the safety regulations. And then I go to Angel's Landing, which is a national park, and it's the number one. It's so busy, you have to get a permit to do it. And it's just it's like a bridge, a stone bridge that just comes to a point, and you're 2,000 feet in the air, and you just look off to the side, literally 2,000 feet into the ground. You look to the left, there's ground. You look to the right, there's ground. And you're just hiking this little sliver across while there's some 7-year-old in front of you just moping around, not even doing anything, while I'm like crawling on all fours going, oh my God, I can't. And it's really disheartening to see that little kid doing it. But you know what? It didn't get to me very much. I was happy with myself for doing it, but God, some people's like, I think I'm such a pussy because I'm on top of Angel's Landing and people are just walking around willy-nilly as if there's not 2,000 feet in front of you. I'm getting a little riled up about this, but am I a pussy or am I just a little smarter than these guys? Because they're just walking. Regardless, I just was like, it's pretty unsafe. How many people die here? I guess I can look that up right now. How many people die on Angel's Landing a year? Oh, well, that's not what I want. How many people die on Angel's Landing a year? I don't know how to use Siri anymore. Okay. Well, you just saw me be really dumb with my phone. I haven't used Siri in a long time. Don't remember how to do it. Yeah, I was very happy, and the views were incredible. I was proud of myself for going out and just doing a thing that like you're like, how many opportunities in life do you get to just drive across the country and go see all the things that you're supposed to see in this damn beautiful land? So I'm just trying to see everything I can. I don't know. Ooh, I forgot to bring this up during the the host weekend. I got an email right before I had to go on stage going that my feature weekend in Tacoma was canceled. And I already had like my flights, my hotels booked, everything's like ready to go. And it sent me into a little bit of a spiral. And I was kind of bummed out. And I just was like, I completely understand, because the person decided they were going to bring their own feature. And so they were like, we're going to have to bump you off the weekend. I apologize. And then I went, I already bought my flights and I have a hotel. Is there any chance you still need an MC? I'm willing to MC. I'm the goddamn greatest MC this country's ever seen, it seems, for how much I get booked MC. And they hit me with, that's fine. And also, to make it up to you, on Thursday we have Joe List coming in. Would you like to MC for him as well? And by the way, podcast, that's my favorite comedian. I just immediately went, yes. So guess what? Life throws lemons at you. You make less money. You have all this shit happen. But if you don't just, you can take life on the chin, right? I think an older me would have just been like, or not a younger me, but older in terms of how, I don't know, me in the past would have just gotten that email and responded going, oh, that really, really sucks, and be just pissed about it. But instead, I didn't plead. I feel like I really came at it from the right angle of how I worded the email. I went, I completely understand this stuff happens all the time. If the MC spot is still available, I already purchased my flights and hotel, and I would love to still be able to work this weekend. And I think just coming with that attitude really let them go, and we got to make it up to this guy. So guess what? Doing Thursday in Tacoma with Joe List, and then they just emailed me a little bit ago going, first show sold out. We're gonna add a second show, so my pay is still the same. I'm still getting paid the same as if I featured the whole weekend. So guess what? All's well that ends well. I don't even know what that means. But I got that email that I was going to be opening for Joe List, and then I'm hiking Zion, and I'm just kind of looking out, and it's lame, but I get pretty emotional about how I'm about to fly up to the Pacific Northwest. I'm traveling across the country, just doing whatever I want to do every day. I just get to hike whatever hike I want. I think of a thing that I want to do on Tuesday, and I just go do it. I have the freedom to go do it because I have no responsibilities. I don't have a place I live. I'm homeless, but I'm loving it. And I'm like, God, you're 24. You're high-key in pretty good shape. You're taking care of yourself as hard as you can. This is the most you've ever loved yourself, and you are trying really hard. You're hiking where you want to hike, and you are a full-time comedian in the career that you wanted to pursue. You're living your fucking dreams, and guess what? This next week, you get to open up for two of your favorite comedians ever. And it's lame. I don't want it to seem like I'm bragging, because it's like I am bragging. That's exactly what I'm doing. But I don't want to. I don't know. I don't want you guys to be like, oh, this guy's full of himself. I'm appreciative. I'm grateful for the life that I've been living, and maybe I'm skewing it to myself where it seems better than it is. But if that's the case, who gives a shit? Let me be happy. How can I not be happy? How can I not be happy? I mean, straight up, literally everything's going my way. I have nothing to complain about, and I am happy. I was really bummed out a week ago, and I'm happy today. Today I woke up very, very stoked. I was stoked to do this. I'm stoked to go work out after this. And I think also that's what life is. Last week I was bummed out. This week I'm on top of the world. Next week I might be bummed out again. But guess what? The next week I might be on top of the world again. And I'm loving these being on top of the world moments. It's making me feel really good about myself. I mean, not even about myself, just it's making me feel really good. I feel accomplished. I'm grinding out the material I want to grind out. I've meditated. I meditated in the Grand Canyon. I meditated in Zion. I meditated in my friend's guest room this morning. Just and still somehow I woke up or I finished my meditation just as happy as I did in Zion because I'm like, life's on cloud 9. Tomorrow morning, I fly to Portland to go hang out with one of my good friends who also happens to be one of my favorite comedians. I mean, did I think 3 years ago that this would be the life that I live? Granted, I also just got a PNC alert that my bank account's at $60, but I don't care. I already bought my flight. I'm going up there, so I'll be there and I'll be happy. I have $60 and I'm happy. What's there not to be happy about? What is there not to be happy about? I love life. I'm really pumped. God, I'm hitting my goals, and I'm going to keep making newer, smaller goals that I can keep hitting and accomplishing. Whatever. I'm so stoked. State of life is pretty good right now. I appreciate the positive feedback on the last episode, and I hope that this is a positive episode, I think. Yeah, very much so, especially on the end here. I hope that this that you guys are continuing to like this, and I hope that it seems like when I'm in a bad spot, the episodes do a lot better. So I'm hoping this good spot episode. I want you guys to see this and be like, I like a good spot, Carter. Let's entice a little bit more of that. And I'm also sorry if you haven't been able to. I swear you can't see my face on this episode, and if that's the case, hopefully you enjoyed the audio. But guys, I hope you all have had as great of a week as I have, and I hope your guys' next week is better than mine. I hope your guys' lives are you're getting all the tasks done that you set for yourself, and you're accomplishing the goals, and you're becoming the person that you want to be. So, guys, I'm going to keep making choices to be the person I want to be, and I love you all very much. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.